Hello, my friends, that middle school teacher here with another tutorial video for you. Today, we are going to be looking at how to create a digital escape room for our online learners. If any of you are like me, I have been teaching online for the entire year and will probably be here all the way until June. So, in order to make our friends online be more engaged in our program, actually be paying attention to what they're learning, I thought, let's try some escape rooms. There are some amazing escape rooms already created on Teachers Pay Teachers by some phenomenal people. Past the Potholes has some, Two Peas and a Dog has so many. This one is going to be specific to history, and it's going to be specific to Black settlement in Ontario. So shout out to one of our phenomenal teachers at my school. She actually gave me the idea to use the information related to Grey County and Oro Township. There has been a Black settlement there for years. It is one of the historical monuments that we are going to be discussing in our grade 8 curriculum within our school. So I thought, how can I do this in a way that's going to get the students to actually pay attention to what they're learning about? So what I've done here is I've already put together part of my shell for my escape room so that you can see what it looks like from a teacher perspective, as well as what it would look like from a student perspective. When you're creating a Google form, you want to make sure you're working in different sections. So my first section is going to introduce the escape room. It's going to ask the students for their color group. So we use breakout rooms, not really breakout rooms. They're just MS Teams or Google Meets. But each group has a different link if we are doing an MS Teams breakout room that the students have to click on, go to, and then it accesses their meeting with their small group. So I ask them for their color name and the name of their participants. Then I want them to click this button to go to the first lock. So this lock, it's not a positional lock. This is actually a letter combination. So it's a combination lock. My goal here is I want my students to find the word and unscramble it. So I made sure that I made this one super easy as the first one. All the students have to do is look for the bolded letters in my paragraph and access and write the word in the short answer text space below. The one thing that's really important to understand when making escape rooms is that you want to make sure that you turn on response validation. The reason why I say this is because if your students, like some of mine, don't actually read the instructions properly, they're just going to start typing in random words over and over again. So in order to make sure they understand that they are not putting in the right word, you want to put in an error code. And I just put the error code in as try again. But I'm also going to put in make sure to read the instructions carefully to remind my students that maybe perhaps they just didn't read the instructions. So I'm going to show you what this escape room looks like from a student perspective. The big reason, why I like using Google Forms is because I can go back and forth and have the student version and the teacher version open at both times and just click refresh over and over again on the student version to see exactly what it's going to look like from the student perspective. Once I'm done creating the bulk of the information, I am going to go back and do things like add locks. I'm going to add, a background on Google Form. I'm going to make it look more presentable. This will be available on my Teachers Pay Teachers store as well in the next couple of days. And I will be doing one for all of the unit two. I classify unit 2. So I break my history units up into 3. So I do settlement and migration as its own separate unit after Confederation. So I will be adding in some escape rooms and presentations and or reading materials for settlement and migration that has a lot of connections to the grade 8 geography curriculum as well, so that if you want to spiral, you can spiral the 2 units together. So again, name your color group. Let's say blue. I'm just going to write test. Let's go. So the students need to access this slide. They have to read through this Grey County slide, and they have to look for the letters that are bold and figure out what they spell. So this one spells out the word county. Shout out to any of my students. If you found this tutorial video and you use this to access the Google form, how very inspirational. I'm very proud of you. what is the word in all caps. I didn't write it all in caps, so I need to go back here and make sure I add it in all caps. I'm going to press next. Now, obviously, I got through the first time, which is fantastic. This time, I'm going to do it from the perspective of what if I got it wrong, so that you can see what it looks like. So again, I want to make sure that my try again does have some sort of suggestion to the students to remind them to read the instructions carefully. So for this second one, it is a color lock. So the students need to access this reading about settlement Black communities. So I'm going to change this just because I have access to it. I'm just going to put history of Black settlements. Going to leave that there. So what the students have to do with this one here is they have to read through these paragraphs and put in their answers in this spreadsheet. So this one forces them to make a copy so that way they cannot see all of the different groups that are working on it. I have already put together 3 of the questions that they need. Oops, this one should be bolded as well. I can change that afterwards. So the cool thing about what I've done in this Google Sheet, which I have done in another video, is that I have changed the color of the specific answer cells. So the students have to make sure that they use the correct 1 or 2 word answer in order for the cell to change color. So the first one says, what was the separate Black unit in the Army called? If we go back to this first paragraph, we know that it was called the Colored Corps. So if I go here and I write Color Corps, notice how it doesn't change color. That is because I didn't put in the correct 2 words. I need to make sure that I actually put in the correct 2 words. Now it's been bolded and it's changed the color, so I know that my first letter is going to be R. In what year did Black veterans receive grants of land in Oro Township? Again, all the students have to do is just read through this paragraph. It says it right here. In 1815, Black veterans of the War of 1812 received grants of land in Oro Township. All I have to do is come back over here, type in the number 1815, and boom, bolds it, turns it to yellow. Fantastic. That means that they know that they have the first 2 letters. So in my answer key, I know that this is my answer. Oops. I go here and I press next, it's going to say try again, please. I'm going to go back in here and type that R. I'm going to click next. Boom, brings me to lock 3. Now, the really cool thing that I like about using Google Forms is that you can link anything to them. You can link a Google Doc, a Google slide, a sheet, a YouTube video, a picture, a jigsaw puzzle where they have to unscramble things. There's so many different ways to add creativity to your digital escape room. My third lock is probably going to be a YouTube video or some sort of informational video that the kids have to listen to, and the answer will be within that video somewhere. The great thing about using a video as one of your answers is that in order for them to access the answer properly, they actually have to watch the video. So I'm going to go back to my escape room here. I am in section 4. So what you do here is after section 3, you want to go to continue to section 4. Okay, you want to be very specific as to where you change these. Again, don't forget to turn on your response validation. So my third lock is going to be this is a video lock. In order to get to the next lock, you must watch the video and find the answer. So I've put that right in the description here. Then I want to go here to add question. I'm going to go here. Please access the video here. Please access the video and find the answer to the question below. So I am going to find a video looking at Black settlement in Ontario, and I'm going to link it to this lock so that the students have to watch the video and then find the answer to whatever question it is. The nice thing about this is that I can go through, when my kids are doing this in MS Teams or in Google Meets when they're doing breakout rooms, every group works on it at a different speed, and I can actually go into every group and work with whatever group I need to on whatever question I need to. I can also send information to every one of the groups as well. But because I'm forcing them to make a copy of things like this Google Sheet, it means that only their group has access to this copy of Grey County Lock. So they will not see any of the answers of any of the other groups that have used this before. So again, I can go back and forth between the student version and the teacher version. You can use digital escape rooms for anything. You could use it for language, geography, science, math. We use them quite a bit in math as well. I will be posting a tutorial video of how to include math pictures using Google Draw and adding and putting an escape room into your math program as well. So make sure you click that like and subscribe button so that you can get access to all the videos as they open up. I will be posting videos as often as humanly possible. My goal would be once a week, if not more than that. And all of the tutorial videos that I cover will be related to the Google Apps for Education that we are using within the Ontario school boards. Most of us use the same one, so they can be accessible to any of you. I hope you enjoy this video on a digital escape room, and I hope to see you subscribe and come back for more. Have a great day.